They've eaten the cabbages, the cauliflowers and the broccoli. This is why you net things. Yeah. Hello, welcome back to the allotment. I haven't been here for a week and a half. The kids very kindly brought a virus back with them from school and shared it with me, you know, because they're lovely like that. And it's knocked us all for six, to be honest. So this is the first time in about a week and a half that I've been here. And it's going to be the last time I'm going to be able to get here for a week as well, because the kids break up for half term today and we've got a very busy week planned next week. So other than watering, nothing's really going to get done next week. So today is my opportunity to get planted out, because there are lots of plants that are ready now. We forecast very high temperatures for the next week, which isn't ideal. Today is not an ideal day for planting out because it's about 11 o'clock in the morning. Really not a good time, but it's better than being in a boiling hot greenhouse for another week. So we'll get on. If you are new here, my name's Lindsay, and if you enjoy this video, I would love it if you would stick around. Tell me what's happening in your garden at the moment and where you garden around the world. I would love to hear from you. So say hi in the comments and I will get on with planting some plants out. Right, so let's have a look at what we've actually got first. First off, we've got some cosmos. Now, these should have been pricked out ages ago, but they haven't been, and they're looking okay. So I'm actually going to just prick them out and pot them direct. They're quite big, tough plants now. Next up, beans. I've got quite a few beans. Firstly, I got these bargain beans. These are dwarf French beans called Canadian Wonder. I got 2 pots of those. We'll see how they separate at this size. I'm not sure how they're going to go, but we'll see. Then I got some Blue Lake French beans. Love that variety. I got some, let's turn the sheet round. We got some White Lady runner beans, and I got some, what's this variety called? Streamline. So we've got some red flowered ones and some white flowered ones. Well, sometimes I choose based on flower colour. We've got some more Waverex peas, or Wavero, however you say it, to replace the ones that are looking, well, not necessarily to replace them, but to put somewhere else probably. I got some leeks, which are Tornado leek, which is a late crop leek, because all my leeks failed. So I just bought a pack. Some courgettes, El Greco. What's this one? This one is Gold Rush. And these two are Shooting Star, which are climbing courgettes, which I thought I could... Actually, I was going to replace the peas, wasn't I? At least one side with these ones so that I can grow them up the archway. Then we've got some more tomatoes to fill the space. Now, most of these are self-grown by me, except this one. I saw this chocolate cherry. That looked really good. Bought that the other day. But then we've got 6 here. Five. I'm sure I should have 7, but I have 5. And we've got, these are the ones that from the seed that I've grown from the seed that Ali sent me from my rusty garden. I've got indigo apple, Costelluto fiorentino. We've got, oh my eyes and my Beauty King. It's the wooden lollipop stick labels. They're just Black Russian and honeycomb. Now I'm actually missing a couple. I am because there's pineapple pig and some others. Now I do have some dwarf ones that Ali gave me, but I'll plant these ones out and then we'll see what we've got left at home. Yeah. And then over here I've got some very sad looking borage. I was going to plant this at home, but to be honest I haven't got space and I've got so many other things to plant out. So that's in some water just picking up. We've got some baby leaf spinach. We've got some cos lettuce, some lamb's lettuce, which I love lamb's lettuce, and red little gem. This is just some leftover from some pots that I did at home, and I've got curled leaf parsley. I've then got some sunflowers, which I'm not going to enjoy being there in the wind. And then I've got some sweet peas that my dad had left over. I want to get those done today. I took them home to plant out, and I realised I've no space at home, so I'm going to put them out here somewhere. I'm not sure where yet, but I want to give him his root trainers back, so I want to get that done. I think I might start with the sunflowers. These are the Canadian Wonder dwarf beans. I've never grown this variety before. They were £1 a tub, like I said before, and honestly I just couldn't resist. I've just taken apart the first lot, and actually they've come apart quite easy. By now the stems are really thick, so you can put a little bit of pressure on, just to, not too much, just to separate them out. And we have managed to get a good amount a reasonable amount of root system on each one, so we should do okay. Now these are they're quite short roots, so I'm going to plant them tiny, a little bit deeper. They should be okay. They're not like tomatoes where you can get new um, roots growing from the stem, but they are, they should withstand. They're not like cucumbers where you absolutely cannot plant them deeper. I am being a bit rough with them, but they're Canadian. They're tough. They'll do well, hopefully. So this bed is going to be full of these. I'm a bit concerned about my runners and my dwarf and my climbing French beans, because where I'm going to plant them against the bean support, they're at real risk of slug attack because we haven't built the raised bed for them, and I'm a little bit concerned, but they're really too big to leave it a week. Anyway, we'll just see how we get on. Let's start planting these out first. So these are dwarf beans, so they only need about 15 centimetres of space between them, which is all I'm going to give them. I had a really good crop of beans from the dwarf beans last year, far better. In fact, I didn't get a crop of the climbing beans last year, so yeah, I have got some others that I've sown myself at home, tender green and what's the other one? Oh, Coco de Pampol, which I grew because I've seen Vivi at Vivi's Kitchen Garden, or what Vivi did next, sorry. I've seen her grow them many times over the years, and she loves them. And Vivi is a vegetarian, so eats a lot of beans and knows her beans. So I got enough to grow seed. I got enough to collect seed last year, but I didn't get enough to try them. So I've sown some, but that's what I was going to do today as well. I was going to sow some direct, and I haven't brought the seeds with me, but that can wait till next week. We'll have a staggered crop. Right, so because I've planted them quite densely, I've actually got space at the end of this one. So I'm going to plant out 2 courgettes here. So I'm going to struggle to get these courgettes into the other one. Now, I've never bought courgettes together in a little, it's a 3 module tray, but there's only 2 in. I've never bought them like this before and had to separate them, so and they don't always like root disturbance, so we'll see. I've done that as gently as possible, but obviously the roots are going across the full way. So yeah, now I'm going to grow this. I'm going to turn it so that it's growing more in this direction towards me now. I'm not going to plant this deep because it's a squash and it won't like it. Just knock off those weed seeds or plant seeds, whatever they are, whatever plant they are, I mean. I'll pop that in there, I'll plant that way, and then hopefully they will do okay. Okay, right, so I'm going to plant out this other one. This is Gold Rush. So we've got Goldina, we've got Tristan, and we've got Yellow One Ball in this bed. So there's only Tristan's going to be a green courgette. So we'll pop this down. I'll just pop it in the middle actually, because I don't think I'll be growing anything else. What I might do is sow some dwarf beans in and amongst some of these, maybe. Not sure. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know why I even say what I'm going to do, because I've changed my mind all the time anyway. But yeah, so I might put this in just so that I know. I don't like leaving plant labels in the ground, but sometimes you just want to know which ones are which, so you know which do well, and you know what you're going to get again and what you're not going to get again. Right. It's kind of unbearable, this heat, but I have got no choice but to stay and get things done. If it wasn't for the fact that I can't get here for a week and it wasn't the crucial time for planting, I probably would go home today. Right then, everything that is getting done today is done. So, lots and lots of leaves. Spinach, lettuce, parsley, basically. I've taken a few bits out of here, but I haven't got time to weed it properly. I've watered everything. This is a bit random, I know. I've put some sunflowers in here with the foxgloves, and I've just stuck a load of tall varieties of cosmos in. Now, I'll have some more to go in once the foxgloves are gone over, but the foxgloves will likely get quite big, and the ones that are in there might not do well, but I've got spares anyway. I've left the brassicas as they are. Look at this, I've got to show you this. Blackcurrant sage. Oh, I've got to get one of these for home. I've got to look at it. Oh, do love a salvia, but that is just lovely. So yes, a herb that flowers like that. I mean, what's not to love, right? So, Canadian wonders are wondering why they've been ripped out of their cosy beds like they have. These are looking a bit battered, some of them, but you know what? It's just because I have separated them out and planted them. I'm sure they'll pick up. It's very warm. It's the middle of the day. It's got to be over 20, 25 degrees ish. I don't know, but it's very hot. Um, so they'll pick up. They've had a lot of water. Oh dear, look at that. I never noticed that before. But this has had a lot of water. Oh, it's had its stem eaten. That's why. Anyway, hopefully the hot weather next week will just mean the slugs will be kept at bay a little bit. But yeah, I've got lots of courgettes. Anyway, oh, I've got a visitor. Look at this. He's come up on his lunch break and he's tidying up after me. Is this what you came to do? Did you just know? So, these courgettes I've put in here are shooting star courgettes. Obviously, this bed needs weeding as well, but again, onions, I've had a water. What broad beans? I haven't watered the broad beans, but you know what? They're doing okay, so maybe they'll be fine. I will probably actually give them some water before I go. Watered the beetroots over there that have been dug up. And that's it for a week. So we'll see how it looks next week. Now I'm going to go home and carry on potting up some of my perennials. So I've just come home. Mark's just cut the grass and he's cutting the front lawn. He's got a week off work, so he's had a bit of an early finish. It is so nice in the gardens. It's a bit too hot for me, I like him, but it's so nice here. I'm just sat next to this. This is Nautia Macedonica Melton Pastels, and it's self-seeded in the front garden last year, and I moved it because I get quite a lot in the front garden self-seeded, so I moved it and brought it into the back. And I'm hoping uh, it didn't do very well last year because it had been transplanted, probably at the wrong time as well. So it limped along, but it's doing very well this year, so I'm very happy about that. And down here, actually, this is where the majority of my self-seeders are, and I'm really excited about some of them. I've seen Amimajus, not many, just a couple. I've got lots of poppies. I always get lots of poppies, and I've sown some California poppies as well, which I've seen a couple pop up. I've also sown some cornflowers because I always find they get very leggy and fall over when I sow them myself, so in trays and transplant them. So I thought I'd just let them be, sow some direct, and they have come up. I've also got an awful lot of this, which is behind me, which is Rose Campion. I believe it's called Celine now, but I know it as Lichnis um, coronaria atrosanguineum. I've got a Lichnis chalcedonica in the front garden, Chalcedonia in the front garden as well, so I get a bit confused sometimes. I've got my overwintered antirrhinums here. We've got a little Acer in the back behind me. We've got Verbena bonariensis. We've got asters for much later in the season. The salvia is doing brilliant. I think this is Nemorosa caradonna. I moved them around a little bit last year, and I think behind me, you won't be able to see because of me, here is Rose Marvel, which is a beautiful colour. And I remember last year the trio of this with the Atropurpureum Acer and this rose campion was pretty incredible. So I'm excited to have lots of these. I've got absolutely tons of them. They're all really tightly packed in there, so I do really need to get those out, but that can be a job that I'll get done over the next few days. Scabious isn't that happy here, but it's coming on. It's doing okay. And we've actually had some of the new geraniums flowering as well, which is really lovely. This Lithidora has done amazing this year, and my snow in summer, Dusty Miller, Snow on the Mountain, whatever you want to call it, Cerastium tomentosum. This has done really well. It's struggling a little bit where it's climbing down here, and I probably should have cut it back because it's really into this salvia now. But once it's finished flowering, I will cut it quite far back. I'm going to divide it up actually as well, and then I'll have a few more things I can put in here, and I might spread it out a little bit more down the border. I've already I broke a piece off accidentally a couple of months ago, and I planted that at the end of the border here, and that has taken now and is flowering. This beautiful geranium, I've forgotten the name of a lot of these geraniums. It's absolutely beautiful colour, really bright pink, and it's formed this beautiful little mound, which I think is lovely. It's a real clash of colour with the Geum Coral Tempest at the side of it. But I like that. I quite like a little clash in the garden. It doesn't bother me at all. The perennial Alyssum saxatile, is going over now. Still got some yellow on it. I will cut that back. We might get another little flourish a little later on. But that's been really lovely. And with the Pritzolego, the crystal alpine carpet, it's just lovely. And now this one's going to take over for some flower cascading over the edge. I used to have a lot of Aubrietia, and I don't now. I only have one, and I really need to sort that out and get some more Aubrietia, I think. But to be totally honest with you, the soil level in this bed has fallen, and I really need to top it up, probably in the autumn now, because it's a little bit densely packed to do that now. We've got Rudbeckia at the back there that's coming up, and I've got an Achillea that's coming up as well, and my Salvia amistad here in the corner, because this corner looks a bit bare at the moment, just a few twigs, but it is actually a Salvia amistad, so eventually that's going to really fill the space because it was really quite large last year. And I just like this little corner particularly. I mean, I love down there because we've got the Brunnera Jack Frost, and we've got the Acer Moonrise, and I've got some Nigella growing up there, and yeah, doing really well. I have noticed that the new clematis that we've got is growing really nicely, but it looks to me like there's been a little bit of sawfly larva damage, some little tracks on some of the leaves, but it's still growing okay, and it still seems to be quite good. I've just noticed we've got some vetch climbing up the trellis as well, which is not what I want really, but it is such a pretty little plant. It's just a shame it runs everywhere in the garden. The pots are looking really good as well. This lilac is incredible. It smells amazing. I'm absolutely loving it. And actually, my neighbour has a standard version, so I'm thinking, ooh, I like that. They've got it in the front garden, and it looks really nice. And I'm thinking that my front garden would look nice with one of those in as well. But things are going well. This honeysuckle's getting some little buds on it. Oh wow! It's because it's warm and slightly breezy. I keep getting wafts of the scent. It's lovely. Hydrangeas are doing okay. They're growing. But they do tend to, if we get any dry weather, they dry out really quickly because obviously they're in small pots for quite thirsty plants. So yeah, geranium, Roseanne, they're all coming along slowly. Mark knocked a pot over on my other one over there earlier, and it looks okay. I think it'll be okay. Whether he will or not, I don't know. I can't promise anything. Got scabious and osteospermum. We've got lots of pelargoniums now. I've got quite a few. Nepeta's about to flower. The geranium summer skies or sunny skies, the one I never remember which one it is, what it's actually called, is looking good. The campanulas I got from my parents look good. The parsley are just kind of dotted. Obviously I will use them, but they're really not dotted there for that reason. They're just kind of a nice bit of foliage as well. The wisteria, not wisteria, buddleia, wisteria lane. I think that one's flower power. I think the other one's wisteria lane. Been picking from the lettuces, which is great, and then I've got the little perennials that are just plodding along. They're just growing up nicely. I did a hanging basket last week. I did some for the side of the porch as well, which are looking nice. My fruit trees, one of them's flowered and this one's flowering. They are supposed to be in the same pollinator group, but because they were bare root plants, I'm not expecting them to necessarily flower on cue. It's been a great winter for roses with all this sunshine because the roses are full of buds. My little California lilac standards, my little new ones are flowering. Not zinnias, dahlias. Zinnias are coming on, but not in the garden yet. Dahlias are doing okay. There's just one, Teesbrook Audrey, that's looking a little bit unhappy. But everything else is just coming along. And then we've got all the perennial bare root plants, which I'll show you now. And again, I'd like to remind you that my garden is actually full. So look at all this. This is Verbena bonariensis that I've grown from seed. I potted it on the other day and it has grown massively since I potted it on. I am going to share some of these though with my parents. So I know my mum wants some and I'm going to see if my dad wants some as well, if he has any need for any of it. Because I've got these bigger ones up here. This variety is Buenos Aires. This is just Verbena bonariensis, I believe. Did finally get some jalapenos, so they're just sat there. They don't need to come out of these pots yet. They're only little. Not really any point putting them on yet. Now, cucumbers. I wanted to get some in the ground, well, not in the ground, in pots at the allotment this week, but I haven't been able to do that for obvious reasons, and I've now run out. I'm going to have compost now, so they're going to have to stay here for now. Got a little bit of larkspur at the back there. You know, larkspur doesn't like its taproot damaging, so I don't know how well they'll do, but I left them in the little module tray. These are the leftovers. Left them in there for too long, really. And then here we've got some Gowrie. These are Swedes. They're really good ones. I've got a little sunflower that was late. Got some more sunflowers for home as well as the ones I've put on the allotment. My cucumbers have taken ages, but they have finally come up. They have been out in the greenhouse though. And these are tender stem. I don't know, tender greens, sorry. I don't know. Let me take you around the sunflower. I don't know how well these are going to do because they've been in here over a month now, but they've only just popped up. It looks like they've been eaten, actually. They might have been eaten. Then under here we've got courgettes. I didn't think I was going to get, but actually I've got a Firenze, which is Florence, and a zucchini, so variety. Then we've got some Achilles down there that I have potted on. So yeah, there's lots to do, but obviously I'm not going to get to do it for a while yet. Tomatoes, these are my hanging basket varieties. These are looking good. These are, I've put on loads of growth in the last couple of days, but this weather warming up, it's just making a difference. These are leftover tomatoes, and they look so good. I really am loath to not pot them up, but I haven't really got anywhere to grow them because down here I've got all the dwarf varieties that I've grown from the seed Ali gave me. So yeah, and down here we've got a Ridgeron Cavinscanus. I'm really going to have to pot these up soon as well. Got a little pot full of them there that could do with the water. If I spin you around to this side, I've been potting up more of the perennial plug plant collection. So again, you see you've got the geums here that I didn't pot up straight away, and then I've got the ones that I did. Look at the difference in size, it's absolutely amazing. But these will catch up, hopefully. These, I will probably plant, I might plant these out when I get, chance. So, because they are so big now. I don't want to risk losing them. These, dianthus, no, they're not dianthus, they are coreopsis. I'll probably try and plant some of them out, but I just don't have room for everything I've got. Under here we've got some delphiniums and the penstemon electric blue. I've planted those up. Now I had put some out here, but they were growing so slowly. And this, oh dear, look at that geranium, that needs some water. They were growing so slowly, so I've put these antirrhinums in their place, and I'll just grow them on in pots instead because I think they're probably going to be happier that way. These are my Coco de Pampol beans. We've got foxgloves, but when I went to prick these out, they were just snapping. I could not prick them out, so I think I'm going to just cut them into clumps and plant clumps of them in the front garden and see how they do. All I really want is for them to self-seed because I'd love a few different kinds of foxgloves self-seeding in the front garden. I realise that you're not necessarily going to get what you got the first time when you get self-seeders, but I don't mind. The more variety, the better, really. Zinnias. I'm going to try and get those planted out tomorrow into the garden, I think. They're just, slugs love them, so they're going in pots rather than the actual borders. But I might put some in pots, in small pots to grow on for the borders. Once they get to a certain size, they'll be much stronger. And yes, there's a couple of tomatoes that I've left out, pineapple pig, sorry, and One of the other ones. I can't see the tag from label from over here. So yeah, that's how it's looking. Lady of the Lake. This is what I mean by the roses. It's absolutely covered in buds. It is such a beautiful rose. It's not quite white. It looks very white at the moment, but it's like a very soft pink, and then it gets lighter. And it smells lovely as well. Really recommend this one. This is a David Austin rose, and it is a repeat flowering rambler. I do deadhead it best I can, but obviously, I mean, it needs reining back in because it's growing over into the field. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to deadhead up there. So it does need to be properly tied in this year after it's finished flowering. That's the problem, you see. It needs doing after it finishes flowering, so I always miss the window on that one. But I will do better this year, hopefully. Oh, and I've got this, look. I think this is Alaska Rivers, look at that. It's so beautiful. I love geraniums. So let's show you down here because I didn't show you here. So we've got another salvia. I think that's a white one. Yeah, the clematis that's got the little munch has been munched a little bit. I planted this geranium here because to keep the shade on the roots. So I think it's doing okay because it seems to be happy there. I did have a clematis carnaby in a pot. It died. It just died. I don't know what was wrong with it. Didn't seem too wet or too dry. I did have a flower on this yesterday, but Florence pulled it off. Florence has been deadheading before anything's died. And there you go, you've got this chaos that's here. My first totally tangerine geum flower. Look at that beaut. It's very exciting. We've got a little bit of perennial cornflower there, and we've got Tracheospermum jasminoides is finally looking like it's doing something. Oh, I've missed the jasmine. And yeah, this is the Roseanne that's just been squashed by a strawberry plant. While Mark was cutting the grass, he was moving stuff around. Yeah, down here, look. It's a bit crammed in. I need to get rid of this fennel because it's really not in the right place. But we've got the jasmine. Beautiful. Yeah, that scabious needs getting rid of. It's just there. So, I'm very happy. We still love the arbour. It's really, it's really getting used a lot. To have grown a bike. And look, this is the dahlia that's not doing so great. Yeah, it's just a little bit, I don't know. It might have just got a bit too wet, maybe. Still need to weed my roses. That one's dry a little bit there. That needs a water. Everything needs a good water because it's been so wet recently. But then today is just really dry. And this is Arthur Bell, and oh, I wish you could smell it. It's absolutely beautiful rose, and it smells amazing. Highly recommend that one as well. Just roses. I just love roses. So yeah, I'm gonna pick the kids up, and then later on I might get a few more jobs done. But I'll save
So
that for
I
you
did
for
manage
next
to
time.
have a little scoot around the front garden for you, and things are really filling out. I love my Acer Atropurpureum there, and there's a lot of poppies, there's a few weeds, but my Acers, both of my Acers are doing really well. It's taken a couple of years to get them going, but yeah, particularly this Atropurpureum, it is absolutely lovely. Roses are doing so well, again, just like in the back garden. I've never had them put on so much growth in a single year. Down here, there's a few patches. There's a few things I don't know what they are. That's a salvia that's not doing well, and I don't know, I might take that out. Perennial cornflower. I do really like these. I think they look quite alien. My youngest loves to pull the heads off before their time as well. And the overwintered antirrhinums are flowering in the front garden. There's a white campion there. That's Acer Orange Dream. And honestly, my alstroemeria are going to be, look how dense they are. I said this in the last video, but look at that. The red campion is looking lovely. We've got some Lismachia growing up through everything, which I keep pulling out, but obviously I haven't done for a while. My geranium Roseanne, we've had our first flower. There's another bud coming there. rose campion. Not rose campion, red campion keeps falling all over. And yeah, we seem to have had quite a bit of sawfly or caterpillar damage on things, but not to the point where it's endangering the plant, so it's fine. Some excellent camera work going on here, but I am trying to show you this. So, yeah. Yeah, look at that. The antirrhinums are just lovely, and they're so much better than they are in the first year if they manage to overwinter. These Geum pink petticoats are really lovely. Like I said, wasn't keen last year. This Geum is Lady Stratheden, which is yellow, but we always get a few red ones on it as well. So, yeah, quite random. What is this? What is this? I don't know what that is. I feel like I've planted it on purpose because there is another one just to the side, and they're like in symmetrical locations, and Google Lens isn't telling me anything. And I can't imagine that they would just magically appear in a position I'd plant them in. Look at that verbascum. Oh, I love the verbascum. And yeah, look how covered in flowers they are. They were about £4.50 last year. Complete bargain for how flowery they are. Oh, look at these aquilasias. I absolutely love this little corner. This rose, my rose has fallen over because it's grown so much and I've not realised this is the lark ascending. It is a large shrub rose. It has never grown very much. And under there we've got the phlox and the nepeta. But I, actually this evening as I'm filming this, Mark went out and supported that. We just used a cane to get it off the ground. And he did get stuck by quite a few thorns. I'm not laughing. I'll be laughing a bit. Okay, that scabious is massive and going to be great. Nepeta's great. Achillea, I haven't done the Chelsea chop again. There's still time though, I think. Lupins, foxgloves growing up through the middle of everything, but I'm quite happy. I believe this is Lichnis viscaria, actually. Not vulgaris, and not... I couldn't think whether it was vulgaris or viscaria, but I think it's viscaria. Yeah, this area is still looking quite dry, but things are coming on. I keep giving it a really good soak, and hopefully things will fill out soon. And then we have got Rudbeckia and a few things in here. Now, we do have a few gaps. I've got some annuals to plant out, and I've got perennials to fill any spaces.
So that's it. I'm going to get a few of these very dry looking plants watered, and then I'll do the rest this evening when the sun has retreated a little bit. And I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.